Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? Me then. Shit. I just remembered that I had to set something else up over here. But I did not do that for the stream. All good. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. What's going on YouTube? I am going to be eating my breakfast while we kind of get this thing like going, so excuse me. Solar, welcome to the stream. Hey, welcome. What's up? Dirty Dick and the boys. Oh, today might get a little spicy. We might have to get the boys on for this one, eh? Got a little bit of yogurt with some Wheat Bix and a coffee. It's actually coffee number 2, but today gonna get a little spicy, maybe a little spicy. I haven't prepared any thoughts, so you're gonna get raw and uncut. Yeah, we might have to get the boys on if the boys is free. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Do this. And then this. Yeah, there we go. Good, very good, very good. So today we're going to be doing Smithy special. We'll talk on this latest Orleans KVK, the latest big Imperium KVK that just wrapped up. And then we'll talk the I don't want to call it a super KVK, but the KVK that could have been. Don't know if it would be quite on the level of like a super or a mega Imperium, but it would have been really good. And yeah, we're not getting it. So I've also had a couple days to kind of like process my thoughts on it. Shout out to Grey Worm, who made an amazing clickbait video. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to discuss the KVK that could have been, but we'll wait a little bit until Smithy special, because I actually do need to do I'm trying to optimize and get my recharge you know, appropriately spending and stuff like that. So we can kind of go into this Orleans KVK, which lasted all of what, 16 hours maybe. So shout out to you know, obviously the big guys that we can name: 1875, 2359, that top side winning out, also their allies 2K and 2049. I don't know who else was actually allied this top camp, right? So 1046, 2883, 3303, and 3513. And then, you know, kind of a GG's to 365, 1903, 2370, 2728 on the bottom, along with 3363, 2375, 3180, 2685, 3124, 3275. And I do have stats pulled up, and we can kind of go in and kind of discuss that a little bit. But yeah, for someone who just recently played Orleans, and my first Orleans at this, I mean, I'll say that this map is probably one of the better map designs. I saw someone else talking about how Warriors Unbound is also a very good map design, and I really do think Lilith needs to get more into doing maps like this. Something that we've kind of talked about here on the channel the past few weeks, since there's been matchmaking kind of issues and woes, I should say, and we're gonna dive into some of these matchmaking problems as well. I gotta actually go hunt for that that Bark suggestion that he put into the Rise of Kingdoms thing as well, because I think he did make some good points. Bark from 2563. But yeah, I think we need to get some more map layouts like this, more 6 map layouts, more layouts that encourage zone 5 fighting, and not just zone 5s that don't really mean anything aside from a couple bastions, maybe some holy sites that don't really mean anything. And then also you know, going into a zone 6 where your zone 6 is you better perform and do the right things or you're gonna lose access to Kingsland, right? That's just my personal opinion. Obviously you're risking getting shut out at certain points, but I mean, I don't know if we're currently in the best state anyway. You know, we can kind of like semi talk about we'll save it for later, but yeah, I think more fighting should be encouraged. And this KVK, I mean, it wasn't for lack of fighting, right? They had fights all throughout the zone 5 into zone 6, both all respective parties held until Kingsland. And then you know, we have the river situation in Orleans, which I was popping onto Skinsy's stream, and obviously I'll give the shout outs to the streamer guys as well. Skinsy in 2359, Chadsky in 2359, Gaines over in 1875. If I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry. You know, GG Sefurious who lost this KVK. But yeah, this river situation is a tough one in Siege of Orleans, but it's one that I honestly think that I would like to see more of. Just maybe ones that aren't so, like, you need to make them a little bit more even. Like, I think like there is a common theme in the community that Orleans has not the most ideal like situation. Oh, and Schmuck, I'm sorry, Schmuck 2728, my bad, dude. It's just a little bit tough if you're on the top side at times, but the river I think is great. It's a great little feature. I would love to see more features like this in future KVKs, right? As well as maybe some environmental factors, which they keep saying that they're not going to do weather buffs, but I do think like this new 16-hour war frenzy or rest period, as it's, you know, they've appropriately titled it now, like instead of just saying, okay, well, it's been 16 hours, you can't play anymore, they should have done something where it's like, okay, well, a blizzard is incoming and you can't fight now for the next 8 hours. Like, I think like that would have been something a little bit cooler than just like, all right, 16 hours over, like you can't fight anymore. Like, should have been something like that. Thematic would have been nice. But I would love to see more environmental features like rivers, you know, like weather entering the fold at some point and just really shaking things up. Because I mean, even from the interview that I did with Silent and Nico, they both kind of state that the meta is becoming a little bit stale, right? So anything to kind of shake up what we have right now, I think is going to be a good thing. So again, this Kingsland lasted like all of like 16 hours or so. I mean, I think probably 12. I was hanging out on Skinsy's stream when 27, 28 and company already started to kind of teeter off. And that was like 6 hours in. They had already started to kind of to back off. So maybe it was attributed to a very good zone 6 by 2359. You know, obviously other factors are involved, like, you know, who had more pilots and stuff like that. That's something that we have to consider here now in 2025. But you can't disregard the fact that these guys played a hell of a KVK. And again, shout out to this topside group of allies and camps who eventually, you know, took the KVK away. And we're gonna have to see now who is gonna get the star. This should be pretty interesting to see. Is what's up, brother? So let me go ahead and get this I love how I tried to get this like ready in studio mode to like have it like separate, but I love how that didn't work out. What's the drama between 89 and 93? I mean, I don't guess there's like any drama per se, but I mean, they ran. I mean, I don't know another way to put it. I was gonna wait to like fully get into this too, so we'll kind of circle back around and I'll give you my full thoughts. But like they ran. It's been known for weeks when we were getting out of KVK and when we were going to register. And for anyone to be like, what's another 2 weeks? You do a farm KVK, motherfucker, and wait another 2 weeks. Gonna send you a big farm with all your friends, lots of field for you to use. I mean, look, I think they dodged. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion is, and I look, all of this, let me preface this before I start kind of digging into some of this stuff. This is no reflection on 1093 leadership, on the players. Like, this is my own personal opinion and shit. Will we probably get into some memes which will give you an idea of what the 1093 community thinks about that move? Absolutely. And I'm sure that if you're not half brain dead, you probably know where people in the 1093 community stand on this. But we have some popping in already. What's up, Ange? 489, all talk, no. All talk, no bark, no bite. All talk, no. All bark, no bite. Bork. We will, yeah, we will. Should we just get into that and just say, I think we just get into these stats a little bit for the Siege of Orleans KVK. We'll keep talking about it, obviously, but I think it's a big thing. And it's something that I gotta find the stream that I did it on. I honestly have no idea. but I was literally talking about this shit weeks ago. When I'm here fucking brain rotting in a fucking farm KVK, I talked about this shit weeks ago on Imperium's fucking dodging KVKs and how it was pussy shit. I talked about it weeks ago, and there was never any thought of 20. I can't remember exactly why I was talking about it, to be honest. It probably had something to do with 960 and 1818 not fighting in this KVK. And I said, and I think I said something along the lines, if it continues to become a common theme, that's real big pussy shit. Dan's about to say the quiet part out loud. Been publicly made clear they were diploing for a KVK with 489. Who, 1818? Oh, you mean... Guys, I feel bad for the 60 guys that went there getting straight... Yo, for... Well, yes. Well, I mean, look, that's not... I don't think it's anything on the guys from 960. I mean, they shouldn't be catching any strays. I mean, there's probably some that are coming that way for sure, but they shouldn't be catching any strays because they're just, you know... Well... Oh, diploing for KVK with 489 and 1083 and 489. Yeah. I mean, dude, as soon as they had their migration and Plotto made his video, I commented on it and I said, see you again soon or something like that. Because it was like, and even my buddy Al Qaid was like, oh, we're matching up. And this was weeks ago. Ooh, he is in 489. Weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it seems like it, yeah. So I don't know. Let's take a look at these stats real quick from this Orleans. Yeah, I'm gonna thanks for the little bit of a warm-up because we're gonna fully get into it. Don't worry, we're gonna fully get into it. All right, so back onto this Orleans KVK, just for a little bit, and then we're gonna do Smithy special in about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll jump back into this whole 489 fiasco. So biggest power drop in this Siege of Orleans actually goes to 1875, and most kill points as well. So that kind of leads, at least on first glance, I don't know what the allies are gonna look like. That leads to them looking like they're gonna get the star of 1875. Yeah, slightly outpaced 2359 in DKP, although 365 had the most in the KVK at 340, which isn't surprising to me as they're really good at farm filling. Although they only had about 7 million more deads, but about 2 billion more that's T5 kills, I should say. Interesting. I guess those kills really. Is it the kills? 40 billion more KP. Then 2728, and I think what someone said is their inaugural Imperium KVK. 4.5 billion power loss, which is not too far behind 2359. Dead's also not too far behind 2059. Lacked in the kills a little bit, 60 billion less in kills. So that was kind of the factor there. 3303. There is content creators over there as well, I believe, right? Shite. 3303, 1903, and then we kind of drop into the AC. It's 2375, 3275, 2685, 2K still floating around. 2049. And the like. And Osiris League champion having the I thought they were a gold service level. I thought it was Osiris League champion. And then we can see by camp, the 365 camp obviously having more stats. We'll go into the solos. individual performances. Genie looking at the top or no? Deads definitely going to Makote with 38 million deads. Glock. Oh, Glock. Where's Glock end up now, guys? Where does Glock go now? It's been like 4 kingdoms in a row. This dude is spazzed, and yeah, where does he go? Next highest deads is 16.9 million. So quite a big drop off here. Kyrian from 2563, and 4th John Wick from 1875. Aang, one of the Aang accounts, 14 million deads. There's Abu, 12.8 million deads. Surprised not more from Abu. Our buddies Error and Ibra from the 1781 days, 10 million deads. Genie with only 9.5. What power is he at? Oh. No. Kill points. Because I know Genie's top kill point. So Genie's still at 205 million power. I'm surprised he didn't drop more. But has the most kill points in the KVK. Now sitting at 86 billion. There's Enormi. This is the player account that had 7 marches in Zone 5, which is kind of ridiculous. Shout out to Kosop. He was doing some work on that account. There's Makote at 9.6 billion KP. Where's our buddy? There's Achilles. Where's our buddy Skinsy? Where did Skinsy land on this? Abu with 6 billion KP. Hey, there he is, Kosop. Good shit, man. Kosop knows how to gobble those fucking KP, man. I gotta watch him at some point. Like sit and like fully analyze how he fights, because man, that dude knows how to get KP. He's one of the, I think he's the main guy actually that helps Douglas. In Douglas, that account player puts up like 10 billion KP the last 3 KVKs I've been here. I'm almost certain that's a lot. It's just Kosop that helps with that account. Where's Skinsy, man? 4 billion. I think he was sitting around 2 point something. Oh, there he is. 2.3 billion KP. In his second Imperium KVK, I believe it was. 3 million deads. The 2.6, man. There's a lot of KP goblins out here, huh? But that's what you get in the Siege of Orleans, where you have, you know, 2 weeks of fighting. I gotta say too, like, Orleans is nice because it puts more on leadership, I think, and more on the players to effectively fight. Right? When you have these zone 5s that don't mean anything, like, think about where your actual speed ups are going to. Are they going to actual kill points, or are they going to, you know, chasing kill points? Right? Because I know when I played in my Orleans, like 100%, I think I did okay in zone 5, not the greatest. I think I still came out a little too hard, and then I came out way too hard in zone 6, like blowing 300 or so days within the first 4 hours is a no-no for a player like me. So like it really helps someone to learn how to effectively field fight, and I think we need more of that in the game. And then also at the same time too, it helps to drain some of these bigger accounts and create some revenue opportunities for Lilith. So yeah, I think some map designs would definitely be beneficial. There's a Yomi from 2359. He was we actually interviewed him. He was from, I thought he was from 2728. I guess he migrated. There's Yellowstone in 365. That's an old 1093 player as well. So funny. 3.5 billion KP, 2.2 million dead. There's Chadsky. When is the 606 Kingsland? Is it next week? I'm curious how that's gonna go. Ozai, he's now out of 1079. I should reach out to Ozai. I want to get him on the I'm the captain now series. I wonder if he's still doing his whole cavalry shtick. Just need to get use of microing. Like, I mean, I've started to get better at it, but I feel like, I don't know. I'm not terrible. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not terrible at getting KP. But there's some guys who just, and again, I don't know if it's due to account and whatnot. And this is why I asked Douglas, because I'm genuinely curious what that account has. I asked Douglas to come on, but I got no response. So like, again, I'm not sure. From seeing what I've been seeing on these accounts now, it totally makes sense how these accounts, these players, the pilots who are piloting them are able to get really stupid trades. I mean, look at the Thanos fucking account that I just reviewed. 79 pieces of special talent, has 24 pieces of level 5 awakening. Like, that's a fuck ton of stats that you're hitting someone with. 8th is your pass opening, so what? The 8th is a Monday. Kingsland on a Monday? No way. Oh, okay. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Okay. That makes sense then. To 12. Okay, cool. That's not cool, actually. Or it might be cool. I don't know. Because if we do find a match, our zone 5 would be the day before that. Be gobbling up the views, yo. Motherfucker. There's our buddy Snorlax. 3 billion KP. What a little KP. Oh, 3 billion KP with 1.2 million duds. Granted, he's only a 90 million power player, so. And I do think, like, even I think it was I think it was mainly Furious. Furious was like, yeah, like, was saving a little bit more for a longer Kingsland. Just didn't happen. So that could have also been why the duds were a little bit lower. There's the infamous Pakal player, Act in Order. Pretty sure this 2.9 billion KP is just with the Pakal. There's our buddy, the Flood, which looks like Torpedo is playing on it because that's Torpedo's avatar. Abood and Torpedo now combining to be the Flood. 2.9 billion KP, 13.2 million dead. 2 million dead, sorry. Another former buddy here, Sir Win, from our 2975 days. Speaking of which, oh, we hit reset. But all right, those are the stats for this Orleans. I would have liked to see a little bit of a longer one. I think most players obviously would have liked to participate in a longer Kingsland. 2 days is like that sweet spot. When we start getting into 4-day realm, it's a little sweaty in my opinion, and it's like you kind of just want it to be over. Let's run some Smithy. We can do this simultaneously and kind of discuss on Imperium's dodging. I guess these are all blue. I can just quick dispatch them all. Imperium's dodging. Like 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, like this wasn't happening. Like, and I don't know where it comes from. Like, is it like, is it from fear of like your kingdom just I mean, I guess 2489 maybe, because they just rebuilt. Just I don't know, man. I don't understand. And okay, I do know where it comes from a little bit. Okay, so here's my thought on this. Here's my thought on this. I'm gonna take a shot at all the, not all the whales, obviously, but I'm gonna take a shot at some of the whales here. This is where some of the 960 folk will catch some strays. And not all of them, of course, but I think part of the issue on Imperium's dodging, or just Kingdom's dodging in general, at least now, so right now, so that the top of the top Imperium, the kingdoms are starting to kind of dwindle a little bit. I think, and I was talking about this on stream the other day, and Artha, my buddy, agreed to it. I don't know if loading kingdoms with all of these crazy spenders is the best idea, because and I think this is also how the game has evolved a little bit, is part of this is those players are, and it's not all of them, right? I can't point my finger to any specific people, but a lot of those players, I feel, want the best of the best rewards, right? I'm not even talking gold chests. I'm just talking about KVK rewards in general. These guys want their fucking autarchs. And of course, who doesn't, right? But I mean, look at the 1093 960 fight that we had in Heroic Anthem. We lost that KVK in a very hard fought KVK. We barely had any people leave. And I think that's attributed to the fact that we don't have a lot of Kraken level players who are just kind of bouncing around, right? And that's another thing too, is they have the ability to then bounce around, who can just bounce around, right? So like, I feel like building the foundation of a kingdom with a mix of everything is the best way to go. That way, if you're losing a KVK, your entire ecosystem isn't just blowing up in your face. So, and again, I had a couple other fucking things that I probably should have processed this before I went in. It's hard to say. I'm really curious of how things look going forward, right? I really am. I think this is a big deal for the ROK community. And look, maybe we get no match found and we just end up into the next registration phase and boom, we're kind of past it, right? Then I think, I don't want to say it's no harm, no foul, but we end up in the circumstance that was that should have been anyway. But we'll see. We'll see on that. We have another 3 days or so. To see if we get a match. But if we keep going in this realm of people are trying to avoid big KVKs or tough matchups, and they're trying to go for Diplo wins, that's some straight up pussy ass shit. We weren't doing that 2 to 3 years ago. And I can't speak on full experience because I wasn't in the Imperium realm until a year ago, but I was somewhat in tune with what was going on, right? Dude, back in the day, if you were an Imperium and you fucking ran, you would get flamed, bro. You would get flamed and people would leave your kingdom. The fucked up thing is, and I this is where I can kind of sympathize with the 960 players, bro. Whatever intentions 49 leadership had, now you just fucked a good handful of players who, one, not only gave up a KVK, who knows if they would have fought anyway if they weren't already predetermined to go to 2489, but you just fucked them for another couple months if we get a match, because who the fuck is 2489 gonna get a match with? We can go back to Hero Scrolls too, because like look at all the kingdoms that are like this KVK is just wrapping up now. I don't know any other kingdoms that are going to be in the pool. They're probably going to want at least a little bit time to recover, right? They didn't have the longest Kingsland, but they still had a couple, I would say about a week and a half or 2 weeks of total fighting, right? So they're going to need a little bit of time to recover. And then you have a bunch of these other Silver Imperiums that are in the registration pool now. 606 is in a KVK with 3308. And then we go on to the topic of this is what my buddy A said. He was on stream the other day when we were talking Arc Raiders. Or I was playing Arc Raiders, I should say. He said that 1818 and 2489 never go into the same pop because they have a lot of accounts that share the multiple accounts in those two kingdoms. That's another thing that's terrible for the game right now. Like, with the kingdom pools becoming smaller, especially on the Imperium level, we cannot have these big accounts being in multiple kingdoms. It's fucking up matchmaking. If that's one of the reasons why 2489 said we cannot go in because 1818 is going in and we have a bunch of accounts that are going to be in there as well, that's fucking everybody. It's not good for the game. How you prevent that, I don't know. You obviously can't really prevent that. Players want to have accounts in multiple kingdoms, so be it. But like 2293, here's a good example, right? And I think for the most part you can kind of get away with it. But there's going to be those circuit. And again, getting away with it back in the day wasn't so painful as it is now, because now you have another situation where if we all match, right? I think actually 2293 is not in Song of Troy, but let's say that they were. You would have Chisgul, who has an account in 2293 and 2377 that would be within the same KVK if they were in our pool. Luckily, I don't think they are. They are in Storm of Stratagems. But like all of these kingdoms I believe are going to get a match. And I think there is a pretty decent chance that we still do get a match. I think 2377 and 2563 being in our pool is fine. I think you put 2377, 2563, 1093, and then put 2 A-seed camps at the bottom. We do our thing up top. We stay away from the guys on the bottom. Boom. Level 7 passes. Kingsland. That's it. So I think it's doable that we do get into a Song of Troy here. But I mean, we would have definitely gotten a match if 2049 were to join, right? And then the one thing I'll say too before we just jump into Smithy special is like this whole thing of like and it probably doesn't happen anywhere except the Imperium level, but like this whole thing of like kingdoms saying like it has to be this certain way, like 1818 960 situation, for example. Like look what happened, turned into farm KVK 606, you know, planned as it may be, still might fuck up that KVK. No zone 5 fights going into a Kingsland next week that might only last a day. 2489, hey, no, you should skip after having a farm KVK and join us in something that might be more in our favor. And we don't like the bugs in Song of Troy. I think that the whole bugs thing is absolute fucking bullshit, by the way. You can simply say as leaders, don't do this or we're gonna kick you, right? I don't know of all the bugs, but I know that there was one specifically where you can get to zone 5 without the zone 5s being open, which I've heard Lilith has since patched already. But even if that were the case, you can just tell your players, don't fucking do that or you're going to get kicked from the alliance. Why are we in 2025 as an Imperium Kingdom? Why are we allowing our players apparently in this scenario, because of the bugs, allowing the players to dictate a kingdom's choices because they can't follow orders? So the whole thing of like kingdoms saying like it's our way, I think there needs to be a little bit more diplomacy going in, and I think more so thought for the community as a whole. Obviously you have to kind of do things for your kingdom, and I would always say do things for your kingdom first and foremost. But again, we're getting into a realm where the pool of Imperiums and these top end high level kingdoms aren't as many as they were before, and we need to be cognizant of that fact, because you're really going to start fucking shit up over and over. And you know what happens when you have KVKs that this fucking thing does not want to stay down. You know what happens when you start having a lot of KVKs where people aren't having fun? They're gonna start quitting the game. I'll tell you, in the first farm KVK that I had, I almost quit. Luckily in this one, because we're at the Imperium level and the crystals kind of mean a little bit more, I stayed engaged because number one, just keeping my fingers crossed for the hope of a really banger KVK coming out of it. And two, because of that fact, I knew that I needed to stay on the grind, do my bastions, get the crystal chest that I need to get, and get the end rewards. But the more and more, you know, like KVKs that we have like this, the people are going to start dropping off, man. And we can't have that. I think we need to be more cognizant of what our actions are doing to the whole of the community, right? There's a lot of ACs that already don't like Imperiums, and now you're going to have even more ACs hating Imperiums because they don't want to get a match with us, because they don't want, not for having to fight us, but for the fact that they might get into a KVK that they think is bullshit and no one's going to fight. And then you have kingdoms continue then to downsize. Like, it's just not good for the fucking environment. Again, we're the player base feels like it's shrinking, or the servers are a little bit spread out. Whatever it may be, the high-end gameplay of Rise of Kingdoms isn't what it was 2 to 3 years ago. And we need to be cognizant of the fact, otherwise all the Imperiums are going to wither away. And you're not, and then you're going to be left with these like few super Imperiums, which you're never going to get a match. I am confident that even if 1093 stays the way that it is, it would be unfortunate, but because of domain systems, we will be fine. $18.3 billion powers, a lot easier to find a match than fucking 21 billion power with 5 trillion KP. Like 3 bill. Let me look at fucking hero scrolls here and just see feeds. Just as a comparison, right? So we have 93T at 29.9 trillion, 93X at 1.8 trillion, 14.6 and 18.3. This is going to be hard because it's 33.3 billion power. We actually no, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, perfect. So again, let me pull this up. Lions power. And then I'll pull hero scrolls up here. Minty, what's going on, man? Did leadership send you in to tell me to shut the fuck up? Oh god, what did I say? Guys, a Lilith need to make more Imperiums. Yes. Well, they did already with that one merger that happened, which, you know, I don't know if those guys actually signed up for that, but okay, here's why I think 1093 will be fine. Again, it wouldn't be the best case for us, right? It's not best case, but it's not ideal. But we can split domains and still register and find KVKs. These guys who are built 2489, 29 billion power, 15, and again, this is like what, top 300 accounts, but whatever. You get my drift. 5.2 trillion KP, 606, 28 billion power, 3 trillion KP. Like even 1093, 20, like 3 trillion's a little high. We might have to do a little bit of rearranging in terms of kill points, but Lilith even said that like total kill points don't even really mean anything. It's more recent KVK performance. 2377, 27 billion power, 2.8 billion KP. Like, we'll split domains and we'll be okay. Hey AJ, what's up, man? How you been? Well, it is. Look, I gave myself a pat on the back for making that meme / thumbnail. no clickbait. We did we just I got to get through this. I've been yapping. Well, I'm last like 10-15 minutes or so I've been kind of talking on this 2489 ordeal. And not even directly at them, just things that, like, if this continues to happen, if these things continue to happen, whether it's 2489, whether it's 1093, if we dodge and make unideal circumstances for other kingdoms, it's gonna fuck things up for the community on the higher level. And you're gonna see all these Imperiums start to wither away. And I don't think anyone really wants that, because the Imperium KVKs are really fucking fun to watch. Yeah, man, it's been about a year now or so. Are you're still in 21-23 with with Wiser in them? But like I'll straight up say it, like, and there's other people who've said it too, like 49 dodged us. Like I'm not trying to be clickbaity. They dodged us. It's been weeks that this has been going on, that they knew that we were going to be getting out and we were going to insta register. And there's no fucking way in hell that, like, I would love anyone to have a farm KVK and be like, have someone then come out and then be like, oh, just wait another 2 weeks, it's fine. Well, you have 21-23 in the in your name, so I don't know if you guys can see them, but they are kind of, I think YouTube changed it a bit, but yeah, I mean, I of course remember you from the 2975 days, but I wasn't sure which kingdom that you went to and if you were still there. But yeah, Wiser's in the one group chat. He pops in from time to time, and he hasn't moved anywhere, so don't give me as much credit. But yeah, well, we had 1093. I'm in 1093 now. We had the farm KVK, obviously, with 916, 1818, 2293. It's been weeks now that we are gonna say that we're gonna insta register. There's been hype building around the community within, I think, both communities of 2489 and 1093, that we were gonna fight 2489 and whatever other Imperiums were gonna jump into the pool, and they ran. What's up, Jay? 49 soft. See, I didn't have to say what the 1083 community thinks, because they're coming out and saying it. But like, my opinions were not derived from like, oh, like seeing what everyone else is thinking. Like, I thought that this was such fucking bullshit that they would run. And look, guys, if we get a fucking match and they go into no match found fucking purgatory, holy fuck, would that be so sweet. It would be so funny. It would be so goddamn funny if that happened to them. And again, like, more at all towards the leadership and the people who make these decisions, not the players who are in for it. Let's not get it twisted, right? Like, if anything, I feel for those dudes, that the fact that they might not have a KVK for a while. Crazy. All right, so getting worked up, man. I'm getting infantry needs the gloves, and then everything's at level 2 besides my cav boots, and those can wait. This match 1093 versus 2489 sounds a bit mad. Usually you can kind of tell what tips over, but this matchup sounds wild. All kingdoms have a match? No way. No match found until a bunch of people leave, pretty much. Like, the only reason why they might not leave is because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go for another 2 weeks until the 2359, 365, 875 KVK closes out. 2728. 606 is in the KVK, 3308 is in the KVK. There's probably some other 3K Imperiums that are kind of started coming up. Where are they going to go? 1316 is, I guess, floating around. They might get no match found. I hope the best for all kingdoms and good luck to all. This, like, someone screenshot that. It's the nicest thing I've ever seen Minty say. Pre-matchmaking, yes. Oh, at reset. Oh, okay. Oh, because then it'll come up as what's the other phrase thingy for it? Oh, yeah, 1818's in this pool too. Yeah, which that again, like, I think they no, but they didn't register Troy. I don't know who the fuck is registered what, because they keep hearing different things and it's confusing the fuck out of me. By election, yes, thank you, Solar. must not be the real Minty. By election or rematch. So if okay, so we see either of those two, then we know that there's issues with matchmaking. Yeah, I mean, AJ, it would have been great. Look, any Imperium, if they're gold or silver, right? If they're gold, you probably give them 1 A seed. If they're silver, maybe you give them 2 A seeds and like a B to fight 1093. Not might even be, but for any instance, right? We're 2 lions. Oh my god, they have so much numbers. Just give someone a fucking campmate. Like, and the fact that people think we're so fucking strong, like, we're not. We're this. I don't know. It's not self-proclaimed. That's the wrong word. But people, oh, they're the #1 kingdom because it's a 2 alliance. We're the #1 kingdom. But like, we don't have that much. I mean, we're pretty chonky now because we had a fucking farm KVK. But like, fuck. I wish I had the rankings before this. But like, our 100 million before this KVK, and I think even before the Zenith, was like 25, guys. Like, our 100 million power cutoff was like 25. We're not that strong. Do we have some more high-end players now? Yes, of course. Do they help? Of course they do. Where did these guys come from? Are these our tickets? Like, that's what we needed, right? That's why we lost to 960. We couldn't even beat 962 alliances versus 1. Was it 1v1 on that? It was 1v1 on that, you know? So, like, we're not that strong, man. If you take the screenshots, you will know when the kingdom numbers change if people got a match. Oh, of like this, Solar? Of this matchmaking list? God, I would need fucking AI to filter through all. Blame Lilith for being so shit rather than blaming individual kingdoms game in the worst state it's probably ever been. Ish. I think, honestly, I mean, I agree a little bit. But I also think that they've been doing so many good things, right? Like they've genuinely, like, I went back and I looked at the petition video that I did, and I've been thinking to do a video on this because it's been about 1.5 years now, and they've done a lot of the things that we had in that petition that we were asking for as a community. The whole piloting thing got out of hand just this few months ago, and they've already brought a solution, an attempt at a solution, right? So it's not for lack of trying. Which I would rather see them trying to do stuff than them just sitting idly by and just. My Discord's on. Because let me pull up this Bark screenshot. Hold on. I think I think you're right, Ange. It's a combination of factors. What's the M? Expect, not accept. Expect. Accept.
Turn up till the lights turn on.
Oh, like that register. Okay, got you. Duh, I'm stupid. True. True. Where is this Bark?
I'm high as a sun. Turned up, think I might be drunk. Baddie with a body, put an X on me, and a boyfriend mad cause he got no fun. He a broke boy, gotta pay for the he don't get no paper. Creole, no, I got the flavor.
Suggest.
So basic. Pull up the size, I'ma take that. Money find me, I don't chase that. I'm doing me, why is you mad? Black boy in a two-tone do-rag. You see me shining, I'm out here thriving. I'm just trying to have fun. On top, no, I'm finna go down till the lights turn on.
Yeah, fucking thought without.
Turn up till the lights turn.
Random shit as I can. So, we just got word that 49 plans to skip this pop, including 1093, 2377, 1360, 1981, 2563, and more. Time and time again, we have seen Imperial Kingdom 606 no Zone 5 for 1 year, fail to make wise decisions on registration in order to take easy KVKs, farm easy KP, and get free autarchs. Aside from matchmaking, there's a fundamental issue with Kingdom buildup. Players are fine taking recovery KVK because they can farm more speed ups and gold chests to develop their personal accounts. I won't say the next part. It's time the community agrees that issues with matchmaking isn't the algorithm. It still is. It's the fact that every single Imperium leadership is crooked. Not every single one, I would say. I still think that there are some good eggs out there. And not saying that I'm like trying to glaze 1093, but like probably the other kingdom that I probably glaze the most is like 2293, right? They've been around as long as they have because I think they do things the right way. There are enough kingdoms in the game to allow top kingdoms to go different KVKs in similar cycles to other Imperiums. True, this is what I've kind of been touching on. Lilith needs to handpick matches to ensure competitiveness, as well as not throw random A seats under the bus as support camps because 606 wanted a 3v1. I think he wrote that as he wanted to kind of like take a shot at 20 at 606 a little bit more so. But I think there's some truth into what he's saying there. Where, like I was saying, like there aren't as many top level Imperium kingdoms in the game anymore. We need to be more cognizant of, as the top kingdoms in the game, of what we're proposing to each other. I think there needs to be more agreements. Are there going to be unfavorable matchups? Absolutely. Should Lilith make matchups a little bit more favorable? Absolutely. But there's also going to be subjective behavior on what people think are favorable and what aren't. And that mindset has to change a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting stuck in situations like this. Like it's happened a lot in the last 3 months or so, even. You know, and it sucks, but it's a combination of matchmaking fault and player fault from within kingdoms. Less people would be bitches if fighting KVKs, winning, losing was more rewarding. I agree. But in general, most kingdoms end up taking farm KVKs because there's no reason to take a hard KVK. This is also true. I do think also, like, look, Lilith implemented autarchs, and I think we all know why they implemented it was because I don't know if there's really anything to do about server lag that we were getting. I don't know if that was a subscription or not. I just saw one. Thank you for subscribing, whoever just did. I'm gonna pull up my stream elements. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Let me bring up my stream elements real quick just so I can see while I try and remember what I was saying. Oh, they completed their goal, right? The servers weren't large enough. The servers weren't. Motherfucker. The servers couldn't handle all the 4 alliance kingdoms. Like it was just, that's just a fact. That's why autarchs were implemented. It was a way to shrink down the communities because there was so much complaints about this isn't the right account. Son of a bitch. And it's been accomplished, right? Like there's huge downsizing in kingdoms. Now, what do we do about the rewards? Andy Dang, thank you for the subscription. I feel like this current matchup issue has got worse by the time. It seems the past quality of Imperiums was more vast due to current implementation of certain features. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, they did the autarch to shrink Imperiums. Made billions for the game, but couldn't spend a little extra to stop server lag. This is true, yeah. Like, I think that was the healthiest state that, like, I mean, look, because everyone talks about it, like, the people stick around this game for the communities, right? Why inflict the most pain on your strongest point of keeping your game healthy? So now, to Minty's point, I do agree, they need to look at the rewards for KVKs, and they've already made some step towards that, but there needs to be more incentive to fighting than, look, the autarchs are great, but honestly, I think, like, fucking maybe get rid of them. I don't know, like, make it, I don't know what you could do, right? We're just gonna spitball here, but like, make the rewards so good that you fight for you, and make it so you get like 35, Jesus, make it so you get like 35% of your speed ups back or some shit. Like, I don't know. But yes, it's so, especially for the mid-level and lower, I would say mid-level and lower spenders, KVKs hurt. They are fucking painful to go through over and over again. Do you think smaller kingdoms could also be an issue? I started playing like right after the pandemic, right before 254 disbanded, I think. And lower level kingdoms are like 50 players. Well, I don't think it's smaller kingdoms are an issue. I think it's the fact that there's too many small kingdoms spread out through the game now. And Lilith is attempting to fix that, but I don't think you could point the finger at a player base who wants to play at a more chill pace, right? But the fact that there are these servers where maybe say someone can't get out due to migration, it's fucking up. Or what they should do is they should just like if there's not a lot of activity coming out of a kingdom, like maybe make it so they can't even register for a KVK, so players are forced out of those kingdoms, right? And then you would have to make a function of like what happens if someone does migrate to that and blah blah blah. But like, you know, just that's a step in the right direction, right? Again, I think we need the main point here is like we need to get more players coming up into healthier kingdoms. Not saying that they need to come into the high ranks, but they need to get the players into healthier kingdoms. If Lilith has 10,000 haters, I am one. If Lilith has one hater, I am one. If Lilith has one hater, that is me. If Lilith has no haters, that means I am no longer alive. I do believe that shrinking factor is a joke, really. There are games which can hold plentiful players, as an example. WoW, which can have 20k player servers. 20k players per server at one given time. Yes, but WoW is like PC, right? Like I'm like almost certain, like if there was a way that they can give us like Rise of Kingdoms 2, right? They did with Overwatch. They gave us Overwatch 2. Probably wasn't a better version, but if there was a way that they can transfer your progress and just give us a new game built on new servers, right? Because the game's 7 years old, and I don't know how this stuff works. So anyone who works in the field, like, please enlighten me. But like, build them on new servers and on hardware that can actually support what we're talking about here. You know, might be too far gone for that, but I don't know. So many things that people can complain to Lilith about because everyone has different opinions on what they determine to be good for the game. This is also true. Like, there's a lot of subjective things to the game too. This game thrives all from community, and shrinking players in a kingdom is a conflict of interest. There has to be other ways around this. That's why I said, like, yeah, get like just close dead kingdoms. Like if you're throwing kingdoms that are in D-seed and they get 50 million kill points, close the fucking server. Close it. You lose maybe a player, but like you might retain play. I don't know. Going off on a tangent here. Who knows what it's going to take to fix it? But I mean, the common thing is, later, Jay. Have a good one, brother. The common theme is like there just needs to be improvements, both from a Lilith perspective and also from a player perspective. We cannot be doing this with the top end of kingdoms starting to shrink. It's fucking things up brutally. So we'll have to see. I'm not going to drop the topic. We don't have to drop it. I do want to move on to Smithy special, but like, we still do have to see if we even do get a match, and then all this bitching could probably be for nothing, and then we go in and we fight 2049 anyway. But the fact is they ran. I'm not going to try and hide or sugarcoat that fact. My opinion is they dodged. I do believe they dodged. They were dodging to try and get into a more favorable situation that they could win the KVK in the next registration period. And hey, man, you want to do that? That's your kingdom. You know, try and put yourself in the best position to win. Go for it. But you just had a fucking kick-ass recruitment. You're pretty much, in a way, like the new 60 GT, right? The new highest power, the new highest kill points. Like, fucking, what the fuck is there to be scared of? Anyways. How do I do this event? Oh, this is, oh god, that's fucking shit luck, yeah? Voice of opinion is not bitching for no reason, because it is people with influence like you who can make change. Yeah. Again, you give me more credit than I deserve, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that was opinion oriented, but and then yeah, like the whole like trying to find solutions and stuff, like opinion oriented. Well, like in stature, right? They kind of look like it from power and kill points, right? They kind of look like it, Kaiser. So kind of like them. Slow down, have rich players joining and teaming up with rich players to leech off gold chests and create a roster that can now only compete against one kingdom in the game. That's on the players because it's their choice. I agree. And that was one of my things too, is like these big players have to stop ganging up in one kingdom. It's terrible. And they gotta fucking also check their egos and not fucking cry like a little baby after they lose one KVK. And like kudos to the players who like stick around, right? Like kudos to the players in 2377. You know, you probably are there a little bit for the gold chest, but kudos to them for sticking through these last 3 or 4 losses that they've been dealt, because it's been a rough run for 2377 a little bit. Tell Lil to pay my rates, I'll fix the game in a week. You and Ruz. Get Minty and Ruz on it, and then Ruz can handle, because I'm only saying this because I keep seeing it through the community. Ruz can handle the matchmaking stuff, and Minty can handle the a lot of the back end stuff. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the stream. Thank you, appreciate it. I was just looking for memes, and like those 2 memes were on the same page, and I was like, you know what? This actually would look really good if I put them together. Hunky, what's up? Welcome to the stream. By the way, real quick to kind of pivot onto Smithy, do I skip on mats? Because I know it's supposed to be 3 hammers per blueprint. Should I just skip on this? At least until I get to the refreshers that need hammers. Delete the game, easy fix. This is true. This is true. Minty would remove Attila. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah, there's a lot of issues right now, guys. Like there's a lot of issues. It's player inflicted, it's Lilith inflicted. I do still think though that we have gotten a lot of good changes within the last year or so. So I am hopeful that Lilith does their part, and then I think the community and the player base, we just have to do our part, right? Look, I think as Imperiums, it's kind of like, again, you have to do what's right for your kingdom. I get it. But I do feel like as Imperiums, it's almost like our right to continue to go for banger KVKs, because you know what happens when we have banger fucking KVKs? It's promotion for the game to bring more players into the game, hopefully, right? Because the Imperium KVKs are getting the most attention. I'm telling you this from someone who came from 1781, which at the time we were fighting Imperiums, to 2581, where we were a C to a B to maybe a low A at one point. To then 2975. When I fought Imperiums, I had good view counts. When I went to 2581, I didn't have good view counts. When I went to 2975 and we were fighting Imperiums again in a pretty high A seed, the view count went up. When I came to 1083, the view count goes up. You can see it with any YouTubers. Why do you think all the YouTubers are in Imperium Kingdoms? The view counts go up. So it's almost the Imperium Kingdom's rights to fucking put on banger shows for the community. You do have to, at a point, I get it, do what's right for your kingdom. But with the Imperium Kingdom pool so fucking small, there ain't a lot of options anymore, guys. It's not like you can go fucking, I mean, back in the what the Imperium pool was, what, 20 something, then they expanded to the 30s. Like we barely have 15 Imperium Kingdoms now. Oh look, my bot works. Holy shit. It only took a fucking hour and a half for it to drop a message. So I'm saying that not Lil's fault. They keep adjusting to problems that the players themselves create and then expect Lil to fix it. Yeah. I think in a way, yes. Damn, so no one's gonna tell me whether or not to fucking skip this? Come on, guys. Back to bot. Bro, I don't know how to get that fucking thing working properly. Tell them to add commander swap tomorrow. Oh, skip the materials. Wait, did you? Oh, I see. My bad. My bad. So there's a 3. That's not 3, that's almost 4. Yeah, I don't know if Commander Shop's gonna come. I know like the rumors keep ramping up. I don't know if it's coming. Players invest a lot of money in their accounts. Yeah, and rightfully so, but like even those players that invest a lot into their accounts, like stop being fucking bitches and take a fucking loss on the chin like a fucking man at some point. Like, I get it. Like, those guys make a lot of money, and for those guys to make a lot of money, they've probably had to take some really big L's in their life. And coming to a game where you can kind of flex your will and not lose as much, but fucking A, again, we're not 3 years ago. And those new whales that are coming into the game don't even know what the game was like 3 years ago to have all of the Imperiums to kind of have a choice in all these matchups. Like, I get it, it's an escape and stuff, and you want to win as much as you can. You're gonna want to get that fucking dopamine, but take a fucking L sometimes like a man. Holy shit. You didn't see Ghost Rider running to a new kingdom after he lost to 960. Again, there's some onus on the players as well. Ooh, let's go. I need 16 more. Heyo. Do I get that one? Skip it. 70 is the best. Skip it. Okay. I don't know why I did the gem one before. It could have gotten discounted. Gotta keep the fingers crossed, guys. Gotta fucking trust in Lilith. Gotta, you know. And then just gotta fucking get some good KVKs going. It's not that we had a lack of it, right? Like, even when I got to 1093, I was super lucky and blessed to get into, like, my first Imperium KVK was a mega KVK. 960, 2377, 606, 1365, like, and then obviously the AC camps. Shout out to them. Huge KVK. Next KVK, 960, 1093 matchup, along with 1818 and 2293 on the other side. Like, those were pretty good matchmakings, I think, you know? And then since then, it's just been kind of fucked. We have to, I think, as Imperium, need to do a little bit better as now more than ever, I think, is the main thing is staying in rotation with one another. And that's where Lilith can come into play and help, is limiting the amount of options either either limiting the amount of options that Imperiums have, or doing what Chisgul suggested is, and just shortening the amount of registration periods. Like there should really only be 2 in a month, right? You increase the number of kingdoms in a pool, better matchmaking, right? So that is definitely an area where Lilith can, you know, do something. I am not getting lucky here, am I? There you go. 7 more. Huh. I feel like it's fucking brutal skipping these sometimes, man, even if it's like slightly above. Surely I can take this, yeah. Say less maps or swap out maps, that helps. That is something like CS2 did. They take out maps which are not played to increase players going for a specific map. That way matchmaking is better. Yep. There's a ton of maps that they can probably get rid of. Like, honestly, get rid of Heroic Anthem. That shit is, it's literally the first KVK mode we've ever had that debuted 6 years ago, 5.5. Get rid of it. No one wants to play Heroic Anthem anymore. Agreed. Yes, AJ. Yes, agreed. 100%. Needs to change it over to new tech. Again, I don't know if it's worthwhile doing now because, like, that's something that they should have done while the player base, I think, was a little bit chunkier. And look, I don't know what player base they have because we just have so many kingdoms now that I think that, you know, the player base is so spread out. So, like, I'm curious on how many active users we have. Bro, I am not. Like, I feel like I got to start going for them at some point. I don't want to keep wasting on skips. The skips are starting to get expensive. Like, I've only gotten $19. I'll take on the 63%. You said 70%. Do I take this one too? I might as well, right? It's cheaper than the refresh. Yes, and at that point, yes, right? That only makes sense. My luck does suck. Yeah, I'm oh, there we go. There's a nice hit. I'm very well aware that my luck sucks in this game. Laugh at my pain. Okay, well, oh, that's gonna put me over. That's fine. Can I switch it? Will that work? Oh, it does. Okay. So I got the gloves on this now. That's done. Or wherever this is. So this is gonna be 2. Everything would be 2 then. So helmet, chest, and pants for damage to troops on the map. These pants, Nah, I mean at some point, like if they give us a swap, AJ, I'll probably swap like since I'm running Delta, I'll have 2 Delta, and then I guess at some point 3. Like I would love to have the drums instead of the horns now. So if they ever give us a swap, I will swap to drums and put them on my Delta marches because I think that they just work better. Because of how Delta functions. But I'm not in the realm right now of making drums. Like I just finished my 6th set, like my 6th set and bringing Awakening to 2. My 6th set of leadership is gonna stay at I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's gonna stay at 1 for a little bit until I can start to just piece it together. So if they ever give us a swap, I'll go for drums, but at some point I'll work it in. But right now my goal is going to be finishing everything to level 5, which shouldn't take me too long, blueprint wise at least. Mats might be a different story because I have blueprints for these 2 KVKs. I'll have these maxed, I think, at least the weapon, and then these will be done because you realistically only need 1 2 3 4 5 6 for a rally set. So I will get them if Lilith is nice enough. How many of these do I have? I have 1. What is cheaper to make? So this is only 30 to bring. Oh no, that's 30, and then this is 35. Is chest piece generally more expensive to make than 60 than pants? No, they're the same. So I don't have that fucking spreadsheet that'll tell me the the awakening cost. Had it somewhere. And I think pants I have, right? I have 6 pairs of pants. So, all right, let's work on chest pieces for Cav. I guess just getting, yeah, I just get all these blueprints first. I have enough to bring these up. 5. Oh yeah, so let's do that. So I have 1 of those, so I need to get 2 more blueprints. I actually need a lot more on the Cav pieces. Yeah. So just grab this and dip. Three. 11 for that, or 7 to skip, but I think I could just get it. I should have fucking refreshed, actually. Duh. I was thinking I was gonna fucking go to the next floor. That was silly. Okay, there's some good luck there. Yeah, that was stupid of me. I was just thinking too, I'm like, okay, I'm getting into a little bit of a flow here. I mean, it's 66% off. I'm might as well, right? It's yeah. Fuck it. 66%. It's good enough. It's good enough. So we'll take this. This will bring me down to 74. And then I got a refresh, which would bring me down to, I think now I skip this. It's to bring me down to 74, which then bring me down to 66. And then if I just refresh now, it'll bring me down to 79. Yeah, let's refresh. Actually kind of lucky here. Oh, we made the good play. Oh, fuck. Lots of equipment materials, I mean. Take that. Goop, goop, goop. Take that and refresh. Oops. Oh, goop. Let's go. Come on, baby, give me. This is probably my last, one of my last floors here. Threes. But it's 10 to refresh. So it's like, but then it would be, if I take that and then one, it's going to be 21. Man, I would really love to get like another 9. Leave me with 33. What do we think? Skip it? Or cop the 2 and then skip? If I cop the 2 and then skip, then I'm only left with 11. I need 9 to get 60, which would put me at 3 full blueprints. Should actually look at this too. Oh, I do have one of these. Because 1, 3... Actually getting one of these would have been nice too, because I have a special talent. And it would actually give me a little bit more damage. Rolling the dice, either way. $33. Let's get lucky. Fuck. Hate seeing the fucking I fucking GG's on that then. Yeah. Well, we got the 90% off. Oh. I take this. It brings me down to 21. And then I refresh. It brings me down to 9. I should have taken the other one, I think. Or I know, I just take the fucking chest. Stupid. What? Oh, I needed 2 more. What's up, Monday? I think I maybe got the 9. No, I missed it. I think I got the same thing, actually. Ah, I missed it. I think I missed out by 1. Yeah, I maxed them already. I made sure to do that so I had like my full allotment of hammers before the stream. Give me fucking... They should allow you to gem this. Damn. Sag. Alright, can we do anything here? We should be able to. Wow, I actually can't. I just did like 2 awakenings the other day, so that would make sense why I can't. Hit the egg event next week. And I just crafted a hilt, so all makes sense. Yeah, totally can't craft anything right now. All right, all good. Hopefully we do get a KVK because I'm fucking dying to open these and see what the fuck I get. So and also do some transmuting. So we're gonna have a pretty nice armament stream given we get a KVK. So hopefully, fingers crossed for that. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here now. I actually went a little bit longer than I wanted. Right about there. Hopefully there was, you know, maybe there was some light shed on the situation and what Lilith needs to do. Although, you know, I do applaud them for what they've been doing. I do think that they have been putting in effort to correct things in the community. And then I also think as you know, who was I want to give them the right credit, Bloodhound. You know, I do think it is also on players and kingdoms a little bit, and some of what Bark was saying, like we need to take accountability as kingdoms and do our best to, of course we need to make sure and maintain the health of our kingdoms, and how we do that I think is giving fun and exciting KVKs, and I think we have to get away from what happens if we lose mentality. And I think Lilith, there's probably something there for you guys to implement in terms of how the rewards are structured, and maybe offering more rewards, maybe removing autarchs or something that just isn't so detrimental. Like I know like Chisgle's made the point where like he would be a lot farther along on his account if he had more success in KVKs, which he hasn't. And I think like even Baba with his spending level, he only has like the 1 autarch. You know, he's lost a bunch of KVKs, so like it does make sense why people are so fearful of losing KVKs. So I think the main goal was accomplished in downsizing kingdoms, and you know, I think there's just more to work on, and it's from both parties, right? So you know, hopefully going forward we don't have situations like this again. We'll have to see in the next couple days if 1083 even does get a match, and if we do, then I'll be laughing myself all the way into a KVK while 2489 has to sit there, twiddle their thumbs, and you know, maybe get matched against ACs, or they're gonna have to wait until all these other Imperiums have to get out, because I don't think that was a smart move. I think they should have just taken the fight. You had a nice recruitment. You had a bunch of players who sat in a KVK and did nothing from those 60 GT recruits. You know, but not my kingdom, so who knows. That's it for this one, guys. I think probably what I'm gonna do is break for a bit, and then I'm actually going to cancel if we get a match. Well, here's the thing. Why do we have to cancel? We sat in a farm KVK with no dude. That was even honestly, like towards the end of it, of having to trade kills to get our rewards, made that whole experience even more miserable. So I would say a big fuck you to anyone who says, oh, just wait a couple more weeks, what's it gonna do? You sit in a fucking KVK, have to trade kills for your rewards, and then come tell me to wait another fucking 2 weeks. They can all get a fat fucking middle finger. Not you, Dias, I know you're kind of like joking, but anyone who tries to throw that out there, you're retarded. Just had to throw that one out there because I know I've seen that one too, and that is even more ridiculous. Of we don't want to go into Song of Troy because of some bugs. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm probably gonna take a break, and then I'm gonna go and hop on Arc Raider. So if anyone wants to chill and watch me play that in a little bit, most likely gonna go live there probably at like 1 o'clock. So hit the like button, guys, consider subscribing. Hopefully I didn't offend or ruffle any feathers, and if I did, I don't know, fucking grow a pair. Yeah, I'm out. Love y'all. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrated, and we'll see you on the next Rise of Kingdom stream. I'll probably do another Rise of Kingdom stream or drop a video if we get a match. I don't know if I'll do a stream exactly, but AJ, really good to see you and catch up with you Monday. Thank you. Take care. Dias, take care. Everyone else who was chilling, thank you for popping in. Again, I'm out. Later. Love y'all. Peace.